Hi everyone, it's Nancy back with another process video for you. Coming to the end of my 30 layout challenges now, so as you can see I've got lots of scraps and I'm just going through sorting those out into sort of two different sort of piles of colours to which I'm going to use. I also have the Finley collection plaque, which is what I took to the crop with me and created some layouts from. I haven't actually used it since then. So I've just pulled that out as well. I'm going to use that as my basis for this layout. So just sorting those different papers out. I pull out these two photos to try and scrap, but I find it difficult because of the odd sizes. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that sort of gap to place some embellishments or not, but I end up getting out two other photos from the same day at the farmer's market in LA, but I just ended up cutting those down into two 4x4 squares, which is something you'll have seen from me before. As I say, I quite like scrapping square photos, so I've just got those and I've just cut those down, and I'm going to use this green arrow and just mounting my photos on some of the white paper. So I'm just going to cut a small border around those. And you know, I like that kind of size photo to work with. So here I am just plugging in my heat gun because I now want to use some spray on this page. I'm using the Dylusions Fuchsia spray, and spraying this on, it's quite funny, I suddenly realised as it was drying, where the pink had gone over the green, it had turned orange, just showing you there. And in the photos, it's the Bird of Paradise flower, which is orange, and then I'm not sure what the pinky purple flower is in that, so I decided I'm going to add a bit more mist in 3 spots, which will then end up sort of clustering around my layout. And again, I like to heat on the back as well to try and stop it from buckling too much. It does buckle up though, unfortunately. And then I'm just using some of the Dylusions white as well. And again, I'm just going to give that a blast with my heat gun to help that dry. I say that white does take a long time to dry. And I can't think whose video I was watching the other day, but they had the same problem with the Mr. Huey's one that I did, that it just never dried, and I actually ended up just chucking it out in the end. So, just trying to sort of straighten out my paper then. Decided I'm going to put my photo down there, and I'm now going to start adding some layers. That orange triangle piece is from the October Afternoon Travel Girl collection. And just looking at my other pieces, that piece is from the Finley collection, but the colours don't really match. Just looking at kind of different ways that I can use my scraps up here. Again, that bit's from the Alison Craft collection. So I'm just... Then I decide to get my box of Project Life cards out. You've seen me go through this, take cards out of this box before, but this is where I store all of my Project Life cards. I actually brought the Sunshine edition, and I keep them all in that box. As I say, I've got mixtures in here of cut apart sheets, and then a mixture of the collections. As I said in a previous video, one of the local scrapbooking stores that I shop with online, they were actually doing split kits, so I managed to get a few from that. So I pulled out a card there, I think it was from the old Echo Park Photo Freedom line. So I take that out, but I end up actually not using that American map on there, and just going from my cards. I actually end up pulling ones out from the Sunshine edition, again because they've got floral elements to them, so I end up pulling those out in the 3x4 as well as the 4x6. So I did think about that is a folding card, that one, so I did think about folding that to make put my journaling in. So here I am just looking at everything I've pulled out and how it's going to work. I decided to cut a couple of these cards down, so I'll spread them over the top and bottom layout. And I have actually ordered one of the Project Life mini kits. As I said, as I'm narrating this, I've actually finished my layout. This is layout 29 on my 30 layout challenge. So I have finished that and put my order in, and I have ordered one of the mini kits. And actually, I think I'm kind of over the rounded corner thing. It did really bother me, but I think I'm over it now. So I did just pulling out a doily, and I pulled out one of these white ones, just to add to the top and bottom there. And then thinking that I'm not quite sure if I like that bit, especially with the rounded edges, so I end up turning it actually into a banner piece. And then I decide I need to bring that orange up, so I just end up cutting a little bit that's tucked behind, and then that ends up being tucked up in that top cluster. So here I am just looking at the other Project Life cards I pulled out. I actually end up using this one that says Life is Beautiful. I didn't ever actually have that in a full sheet of paper that came in a Studio Calico kit, so it's one of the grab bags I got. But I like that, and again, the black just grounds the photo a bit. So I decided I'm going to stick these layers down. So I'm just adding a little bit of glue to them. Just didn't actually want to lose their position. Although I do end up moving that side cluster about a fair bit. And as always, they end up covering up quite a lot of my misting. So just fussing with that side cluster there. That's where I'm going to place the photo. As I said earlier, this is a photo from the farmers market in LA, which we went to first on the tour of the city we done, and then we went back when we had our hire car, and my boyfriend actually ended up buying his iPhone there. But I say the Bird of Paradise is my favourite flower. I remember going to a local botanical museum when I was doing my art degree and sitting doing pen and ink sketches of Bird of Paradise flowers for about 3 hours. So they've always been my favourite flower, and to see them you know, in these sort of huge bushes and clumps just kind of around the side, you know, when they're one of my favourite flowers, it was really exciting. So my boyfriend decided to take a picture of them, and then actually a week after we got back from America, he sent me a lovely bunch of Bird of Paradise flowers as well, just to say, you know, thanks for a wonderful time on holiday, which is really sweet of him because he's a sweetheart. So, you know, I really love that photo because I love those flowers. So here I am just going from my die cut box, which is really getting depleted, so I need to get my Cameo out and do some more cuts. I actually logged on to my account with them and realised I actually had nearly £40 worth of credit that I needed to spend, so I have downloaded some more images, so I need to get cutting those out. As I've been talking, I did just cut that green paper down and lay it on a black piece of paper. It's kind of a blackboard piece, and that's actually also from the Finley collection. And then here I am taking the Echo Park Here and Now sticker sheets, which you've seen me use previously. So I'm just using those flowers to sort of add to sort of 3 different cluster points on the layout. So just sort of fussing around what stickers to use, and then that's a Dear Lizzie camera die cut. So I've just taken one of the borders that was from the Dear Lizzie, not the Dear Lizzie, the Echo Park Here and Now sticker sheet. And I've just cut that into 3 and using that in the layout. Just trying to work out where I want to put those pieces. Excuse me. This layout was really quick. It took me about 55 minutes to make. So it was a really quick layout. So it's quite simple, nice bright colours, and actually, you know, used up some of that sticker sheet. Here I am just taking out those black photo corners, as I remembered I had them a few layouts back. So I'm just adding those to the corners. Just adding a little sticker there. Trying to see if any of the Alison Krefft stuff matches, but it doesn't. So I then take out the Alpha sheet, and again it's got a few stickers on, so I'm just trying to see if I can get those to work anywhere. I do end up pointing that sort of away from the photo, but I think it looks okay. So I'm just tuck that back into the photo corner there. As I'd moved it, it fell out. I decided to stick that camera up on some 3D adhesive, just to raise that up. And here I am just taking out just a simple black foam thicker. I don't know the name of them because they're not actually in the sheet. They're just kind of loose. I often get frustrated if the thicker packaging splits. I did see that one of the new CHA releases was like a thicker storage binder with like page protectors to keep them in, and I just think that's a ridiculous expense to make, and you know, I have so many thickers, I'd end up spending more on the storage sheets than I would actually the thickers I've got, so. But anyway, that's by the by. So I've just added my title, which is LA in Bloom, and then just adding 3 asterisks from the asterisks from the sticker sheet, I'll just kind of do play about where I'm going to put them, just to make sure my sort of, you know, they kind of balance out quite evenly. I do contemplate about putting it in the middle of the camera there, but I decide that doesn't really work. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I'll probably just add oh no, sorry, I do pull out the die cut silhouette sheet. As I say, it's the self-adhesive one, which is why this is on the sheet, and I cut some feathers and things out, so I just tried to see if I can stick them on somewhere, but they don't end up working. So just add a few more spritzers of ink on, and I will put some photos at the end of the layout. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with layout 30 of my 30 challenge, and then following that, of course, I'll have my haul video. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.